Hello there, everyone. You know who I am, ETTemplar, Supreme Misfit Professional Dipshit. So, in the grim, dark future of the 40k universe, fighting aliens, mutants, the heretics, and the absolute cost of life is not the scariest thing. What is pretty scary, though, is warp echoes.
Lights flash in the midnight haze. Echoes of the ghostly maze. Trapped inside a twisted phase. No escape, no escape.
So here's a quick rundown. So there's these secessionists. They've broke away from the Imperium of Man, and now you have Imperial Guard, and they're fighting. It's trench warfare. It's a war. It's a battle for attrition. But yet there's a specific time on this world called Hell Night that every so often it starts to rain real bad, and it stays darker longer. And of course, during this time, the Imperial Guards start taking casualties from unseen enemy, like left and right. People are getting dragged into the mud. There's screams, las guns are going off, and they're being killed off in mass numbers. The screams, and while this is happening, there's bells. Everyone can hear these fucking these church bells going off, ding 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 ding, right? So this entire time, this one time throughout the year, this happens. So let's get to a reading, shall we? One was built upon a solid promontory of rock, hence it's given appellation, and the other was upon clay. It was during the unending deluge of 966.M40 when the rains of Eporus continued for 60 days, the heaviest they had ever been in longest memory, that hollowed heath sank down beneath a quagmire of earth, taking its 546 patrons and priests with it. For their harrowing days and nights, the basilica sank stone by stone beneath the earth, its inhabitants stranded within its walls that had become their tomb. And for 3 nights they tolled the bells in the highest towers of the hallowed heath, saying, "We are here, we are here." But none came to their aid. Dak'ir paused as a horrible understanding started to crawl up his spine, needing to know more. Oblivious now to this Scrivener, he continued. Aphium was the worst. The township and all of its people did not venture into the growing mire for fear of their own lives, did not even try to save the stricken people. They shut their ears to the bells and shut the doors, waiting for cessation of the rains, and all the while the basilica sank, meter by meter, hour by hour, until the highest towers were consumed beneath the earth, all of its inhabitants buried alive with them, and the bells finally silenced. Dak'ir turned to regard to the old Scrivener, the specters in the killing fields. He said, they are warp echoes of the preachers and patrons. So, warp echoes in the Warhammer universe, aside from facing down chaos, the fucking Necrons, Tyranids, uh, heretics, and just the tens of thousands of other ways that you can die horrendously. Warp echoes now are just haunted beings that are vengeful spirits left behind. So as if the 40,000 universe wasn't terrifying and scary enough. Oh, I almost forgot the fucking orcs. so anyways, that's just a little section of this Salamanders, the Omnibus, the story called Hell Night, I think it is. Let me. So that's plus not that it's a cool, it's a very interesting moral story there too about cowardice and not acting. That inaction in of itself is a sin, of course. Weirdly enough, that correlates to Christian and literature of the Bible, where even inaction is a sin. So Warhammer 40k may be a fictional universe, but with that little story there, it definitely leaves you thinking. And also, it's also okay. So the story is called Hell Knight, an omnibus. So that also clears to who built his house on the rock or on the sand. So I don't know if there's direct inspiration from that, but it's something to make you wonder. And so, as far as that's concerned, the 40k universe, I played Dawn of War back in the day, and I just never really got to reading until I read this. And the first story I came across was Hell Knight, and that just intrigued me because, again, to go back to what I said earlier, you're not only fighting these heretics and these secessionists that are breaking away from the Imperium of Man, but all of a sudden you have invisible, vengeful spirits and these warp echoes. So that's just terrifying. And of course, there's little like inconsistencies with this story and the Warhammer universe. I have questions, but what a good story. It's creepy, it's interesting. And anyways, I just thought I would share that from the Salamanders Omnibus. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found it interesting. But I love the hell out of it, and this is just the start of it. So if there's more stuff like this in this book, it's definitely fascinating, interesting, and terrifying, as well as the subtle moral lesson. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it there, but interesting. And I'll end this here. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Godspeed. Stay happy, stay healthy. And there might be more of these Warhammer 40Ks, like content, because that's everyone loves 40k. But anyways, have a good one.